Yes guys, my name is Callum, this is Scores and Gossip, and today I'm back for another video. Now, I know I uploaded the FIFA Career Mode video yesterday, and if you haven't seen it, click the link in my bio, it'll be right there. But that's got really good support so far, I really appreciate that from all of you, a little bit of different content. But today, I'm going to do some Premier League predictions with you. Just as I'm filming this, I've just got this tweet right here, I'll put it right there. From Alistair Gold. He's a Tottenham journalist, and he's just informed his followers and the whole of Twitter, because it's all gone mad, that the Tottenham Fulham game has also been postponed because of coronavirus. The tweet reads, I understand Spurs' match against Fulham is off, Premier League decision, and both clubs have been informed. Now, obviously, this isn't ideal. Jose Mourinho also isn't very impressed by it. He put this on his Instagram earlier. And yeah, it's just not very ideal at the moment. This comes consecutive days after the Everton-Man City game was postponed. That would have been a great game as well to watch. But my FPL team is also screwed for this week. I'll catch up with that at the end of this video. But I think everyone's going to be looking the same this week. Yeah, let's get on with the video. So, I'm going to be predicting the weekend's fixtures as well as tonight's only fixture, which hasn't been postponed yet, I've got to add, is Newcastle-Liverpool. Now, obviously, Liverpool coming in with this after a 1-1 draw with West Brom. West Brom getting smashed 5-0 against Leeds yesterday. Couple of bangers, one from Rafinha. That was a brilliant strike, but you know, Newcastle, they're playing okay. In the last game they played against each other at the end of last season, Liverpool won 3-1 against Newcastle. I think this might happen again, so I'm going to go for a 2-0 Liverpool win. I think they'll get a clean sheet against Newcastle, even though Callum Wilson seems to be on fire, but I think Liverpool will have enough for them. So, moving on to Friday the 1st. This is after probably a big New Year's Eve, well, not so big now for the Everton, West Ham, Man United and Villa players. But the first game is Everton-West Ham. Now, Everton have been a very hard team to predict this season. They've had incredible results. They had a 1-0 win against Chelsea. Then, obviously, the last game got postponed against Man City. But before that, they lost 1-0 against Leeds. Just picked up silly results. They're really inconsistent at the moment, Everton. However, they are very high up in the table, as are West Ham, but they did fail to win their last game against Brighton, and I think this will be quite a close one, but I'm going to edge towards the home side. Obviously, there are fans there as well. Them and Liverpool are the only two teams at the moment. That could change very soon, I think, but I'm going to go for a 2-0 Everton win again. On to the next one, Man United-Villa. Now, Villa, I watched them against Chelsea. Villa looked like a very impressive team. Obviously, they were on the brink of going down last season. They should have really gone down, to be totally honest. But incredibly, Jack Grealish carried them out of it. And this season, it hasn't all been down to them. Last game, I thought John McGinn was outstanding in the centre midfield for them. But Man United obviously got a 93rd minute winner last night against Wolves, and they are looking good, Man United. No one can doubt that. They've come back from a very hard run of results, losing 6-1 to Spurs. But Man United are, a lot of people are tipping them to win the league if they're not tipping Liverpool, and I think they will win again here. So I'm going to go with, I think Villa will score, but I'm going to go with 3-1 to Man United. Now, on to Saturday's games, and it kicks off with an early kickoff at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If it's on, that's a big thing to exaggerate. Spurs v Leeds. Now, obviously, Spurs came back with a 1-1 draw against Wolves, and I think we would have definitely won against Fulham if the game happened today. But Leeds are looking good as well. You can't deny it. 2 wins and 2 for them. 1-0 against Burnley, and they won 5-0 last night. I think this could go one or two ways, because I think we might just catch them on the counter-attack, or they could annihilate us, because, you know, we are playing on the counter-attack, and I'm not sure if this will be as an open game as people think. I do back us to bounce back in this game. I'm going to go with a 3-1 Spurs victory. Right, on to the next game, Crystal Palace v Sheffield United. Two teams which have bounced back very well. You've got to give it to them. Crystal Palace, actually not so much Sheffield United, have they? But Crystal Palace obviously got thrashed 7-0 by Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, and they drew against Leicester the other day. Fair play to them. They were on the back foot for plenty of the game, but they bounced back very well. And Sheffield United, they're really struggling this season. They can't seem to pick up points anywhere. They've been so close to victories or points in the season, but hasn't quite fallen for them this season, has it? So, although Sheffield United have bad performances, I do reckon they might get a point here. I'm going to go 0-0 on this game, a ball draw. Next game, Saturday night football, it's Brighton Wolves. Now, this might be quite an intriguing game, I think. Both teams will definitely go at it. Obviously, Wolves missing Raul Jimenez. They did look very good against Spurs, however. Pedro Neto running the show with Podence and Traore. But I'm not sure, because I think Brighton could hold them here, but I might go for another away win. I'm going to go for it. 2-1 to Wolves. Now, West Brom v Arsenal. Now, the thing is about Arsenal is that they've been on a terrible run, and I'm not convinced they'll get European football. However, West Brom, they seem to pick up points against the big teams and lose against the lesser teams. So you saw them get a point against Liverpool, but then they lost 5-0 to Leeds. So it's one of those games, really. But I do reckon Arsenal will win here. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Arsenal win. On to Sunday's games, the last day. And there's some crackers in this one. One in particular, which is the last fixture. We'll get onto that. But first, Burnley v Fulham. Now, if I'm being totally honest, I don't think this game will probably happen if Fulham have called off today's game. They've had a lot of positive tests apparently in their camp, and a lot of them are infected. But, you know, Fulham have bounced back a bit. They did draw to Liverpool, another draw recently. You know, Burnley winning their last game against Sheffield United. They won 1-0 last night. Sheffield United really are struggling, aren't they? You know, I think this might be another draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here. Newcastle v Leicester. I think this will be a good game. I remember a game that they had a couple of years ago where James Maddison hit a great goal. They won 3-0, I think. It was away on Boxing Day. But, you know, I do reckon Leicester will bounce back from their draw here against Palace, and I think they will win this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Leicester win. Now, this is the big one, Chelsea v Man City. Now, Chelsea have had a big drop-off in form. You know, they were doing very well. A lot of people tipped them to win the league. A bit like Spurs, they have had a drop-off recently. Obviously, drawing to Villa and having that surprise shock result against Arsenal, 3-1. But Man City, you know, they had their game postponed. They will have had more time to prepare for this game, having not played for a while. But I'm going to go for a Man City win. I think Chelsea might continue this miserable form for a bit longer. And I'm going to go for a 1-0 Man City win. Now, for the last game, Southampton-Liverpool. Now, I've been tipping Liverpool too well, haven't I? I've already predicted them to have one win against Newcastle. And I'm not quite sure about this one. I've got a feeling they might draw here. I could be totally wrong and I'm going to look like such an idiot. But Southampton have been playing very well and I might go for a 1-1 draw here. I think Liverpool are playing well. However, you know, they have picked up silly results in the season so far against Fulham, drawing against West Brom. And Southampton have been playing better than both of those teams. However, I think they will play differently, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I said I would mention the fantasy football earlier in the video, and I'm going to do that just now for you. Right, so I've just come back on for a bit of a shock, because I was just about to boast about being top of the league, but some guy has overtaken me. Fair play to whoever this is, Rian, I think that's how you pronounce it, but unlike a lot of people, he's had quite a good week so far. A lot of my players were actually in the postponed games. I had quite a lot of Everton Man City players. I think I had Kane as my captain. Lucky I didn't triple captain because that was very close to happening. You know, he had Harrison, Bamford, McCarthy. It's quite a good week from him, to be fair, when a lot of people have picked up points. But I'm sitting second place. You know, in my other leagues, I'm running away with it a bit, actually. But in this league, Rian's keeping me on my toes, and I think it's going to be very tight between him. Obviously, further down the table, a lot of people are quite close, and as I scroll down, you'll be able to maybe see your name if you've entered this in. However, I do have quite a lot of new followers, so if you weren't notified already, this is a league I set up at the start of the season, Fantasy Premier League, where I got all of you to enter. We'd see how everyone performed in the season, and so far I've come out second. And I think it's going to be very tight to get in the places above and behind me. But I am obviously going to be doing this next season because I really enjoy fantasy football. So it'll be really good to have some more of you in next season, hopefully. So I am going to wrap up the video there. If you've enjoyed it, smash a massive thumbs up on this video. Subscribe as usual. I've had quite a few new subscribers as well. So welcome if you haven't seen my face before. My name's Callum, this is Goals and Gossip. And I'd really appreciate if you could share it around. follow my social medias. As I said, I have quite a few more followers on there recently, so the link will be down in the description for that. Please share, I really appreciate it. And yeah, that's all from me really, so goals and gossip, man. See you later.